It was the peak of the dry season in Osun State, Nigeria, when the story of the missing girl spread like wildfire. A beautiful young maiden, Adesawa, had wandered too deep into the sacred Osun forest while gathering herbs for her ailing grandmother. Adesawa was well known in the village of Ipetu, not just for her striking beauty, but for her kind heart. The elders often said she was blessed by the river goddess herself, which explained her flawless skin and mesmerizing voice. On that fateful afternoon, she had told her younger brother she would return before sunset. But as the sun dipped below the horizon and there was no sign of her, worry gripped the village. The alarm was raised, and the bravest warriors of Ipetu, led by Akinwale, the village's strongest hunter, were summoned. These were men who knew the depths of Osun Forest like the back of their hands, men who had fought wild animals and navigated the thickest of paths. Equipped with torches, machetes, and charms from the village's priest, they set out into the night, determined to bring Adesawa back. The journey into the unknown. The deeper they ventured, the more they realized something was strange. The usual sounds of the forest, chirping crickets, croaking frogs, and rustling leaves, were absent. It was eerily silent. "We must tread carefully," whispered Akinwale, his grip tightening on his spear. "Something is watching us." The warriors moved in formation, their eyes scanning every shadow. Suddenly, a sharp cry echoed from the distance. It was faint, almost like a whisper carried by the wind. "Adesawa!" one of the warriors called out. But there was no response. They pressed on, guided by their torches and instincts. Then they saw it. A piece of Adesawa's wrapper hanging from a tree branch. It was torn, as if she had been running. A deep sense of urgency filled the warriors. The encounter. As they approached a clearing near the river, they saw something that made their blood run cold. Adesawa stood in the middle of the clearing, her eyes wide with fear. But she was not alone. A figure loomed beside her, an old, hunched woman with long, tangled hair, her skin wrinkled like dried leather. She was whispering into Adesawa's ear, her fingers brushing against the girl's shoulder. Akinwale raised his spear. "Who are you?" he demanded. The old woman turned, revealing eyes as black as night. She cackled softly. "She is mine now," she hissed. One of the warriors muttered, "Ajay, a forest witch." Adesawa, as if in a trance, took a step forward. "I cannot leave," she murmured. The warriors knew they had to act fast. The village priest had warned them about spirits that lured maidens into the forest, never to return. Akinwale pulled out a charm made from kola nut and alligator pepper, throwing it toward the old woman. The moment it hit the ground, she let out a blood-curdling scream, vanishing into thin air. Adesawa collapsed. Two warriors rushed to her, shaking her gently. "Adesawa, wake up!" Her eyelids fluttered open. "Where am I?" she whispered. The return. The warriors carried her back to the village, where the people were waiting anxiously. As soon as she was safe in her mother's arms, the village erupted in joy. The elders performed a cleansing ritual to rid her of any lingering spiritual influence. That night, the village griot told the story of Adesawa and the warriors who dared to challenge the spirits of Osun Forest. And from that day on, no maiden was ever allowed to enter the forest alone again. A warning for generations. The people of Ipetu still tell the tale today, a reminder that some paths should never be walked alone. Some say the spirit of the old woman still lingers in the forest, waiting for another lost soul to claim.